Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video where I'm going to be talking about some newly shown Marvel Legends figures. And this time we have some new figures from the Captain Marvel wave, the Captain Marvel movie wave, which is very exciting. At the moment we only have movie figures to show. They did show the Build-A-Figure for this wave quite a while ago, a couple months ago actually, and I did make a video about that. I will be showing that Build-A-Figure as well, considering we do know which pieces come with some of these characters. So this is quite exciting. I will say I might have to do an update of this quite soon. I just, when images like this come out, usually they're followed by better quality images and just more images, so I wouldn't be surprised if there will be an update coming soon where we have like just better quality and maybe possibly a few more figures, because while I was putting this video together to get ready to film, Nick Fury was shown right before I was about to film, so I had to quick throw him into all these too. So this is going to be something that keeps developing very fast, I think. But let's talk about what we have here, and here we have 4 movie figures. Now this is really exciting because usually for a wave, they do about 3 movie figures per wave. So we have 4 here. I would be very happy if they did even more movie figures. I much prefer movie figures than I do comic. Comic figures are okay, especially if they do comic characters that I really enjoy, but the movie figures are the ones that I'm really looking forward to. So these are right up my alley. First of all, starting off with Carol Danvers here, we have Captain Marvel. She looks quite nice. I do like the colors on her. I'm hoping it's not just the production image that makes her look so good. I hope in person she looks this nice. She has a great kind of really shiny suit to her, but it's not shiny in a goofy, childish way. It's got a really nice kind of almost slight metallic look, which I think looks very cool, especially at that blue there. It's very dark blue with it. I think the head sculpt looks quite good too. It does resemble Brie Larson. It's not perfect or anything, but it's pretty decent for a Marvel Legends figure. As you can see, it does state that she'll come with an additional head. I would imagine it's like a mast head, and then 2 additional hands, probably blast hands, I would assume, because she can shoot like blasts out of her hands in the comics, so I could definitely see them including that. That would be very cool. The Build-A-Figure piece that she comes with has not been stated yet. She's the only one that didn't have her Build-A-Figure piece with her, so maybe she's a figure without a Build-A-Figure piece, I'm not sure, but it just wasn't included here. Then we have Nick Fury. A very simple figure. This is your standard suited figure. We've had this a million times. Started with, I believe Chameleon was the first one to have this, but they've used this suit quite a while, or quite a lot, and it's the same thing here. It's a complete repaint. The only new thing about it is the head sculpt, and then it does say that he'll include 2 additional accessories, so I would imagine weapons. I don't think there will be a second head sculpt. Considering if he does get the eye patch in the movie, I doubt they'll include it with this, just because it'll be a little bit of spoilerish. But the head sculpt actually looks really nice. From that image that we have of the de-aged Samuel L. Jackson, to look 30 years younger, that looks pretty spot on to what he looked like in that photo. So I'm very happy with that head sculpt, I must admit. But figure-wise, a little plain. But what else could you expect, kind of? So I'm not like. It's not exciting, but I'm not disappointed in Hasbro or anything. And then we have the Skrull. This is the Skrull Commander Talos, I believe is his name. Now, I'm a big fan of the Skrulls in Marvel just in general, and I was very excited to see that they would be in this movie. The concept art for them looked awesome, and then the official image that they did release of them in the film on the beach looked really bad. I wasn't too into their look. They looked very Star Trek-like. I just was not a fan at all. Now, this figure, though, looks great. I don't know what the difference is, but this figure looks so much better than the official image that we have in the movie. I'm not sure if they just kind of amped up the colors a bit more to really make the purple pop, and the head sculpt just look better, or I don't know what it is, but this looks so much better than the actual image that we have in the movie. So this gives me hope, because for a while there I was a little disappointed. I was quite worrying that the Skrulls would be disappointing, at least just visually. And this figure gives me hope, because I actually really like the look of this figure. This very much looks like a movie version of the Skrull from the comics, and it doesn't look very Star Trek-like. So I'm happy with this. This is obviously a completely new figure. His torso is a little, it lacks a little definition, I would say, but it's nothing too bad. I think that he does look excellent. Hope he does come with some sort of weapon or something. Maybe a different head sculpt, being Ben Mendelsohn. That is the actor portraying this character, and he does shapeshift into Ben Mendelsohn himself, like in the movie. So it would be nice if he comes with a second head sculpt, even just to show like partial transformation or something. That would be very cool. But this is a nice figure. I hope that we do get more Skrulls. I would imagine that there's a difference in in costume depending on the rank of the Skrull. This is a commander. This is like the lead Skrull in the movie, so I would imagine that there's kind of a foot soldier Skrull, and I would love to see a figure of that as well. That would be very exciting. And then speaking of foot soldier, we have a Kree soldier. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen anything that's proven me wrong on this, but this is just kind of a generic Kree soldier. This isn't anybody in particular, because at first I thought it was Jude Law's character, you know, who's Marvel. I thought it was him, but when I looked at all the things posted about it, none of them mentioned that it was Jude Law. So I think this is just a generic character. I don't think it's actually Jude Law. But this looks quite nice. I do like the soldier look. I like the costumes in the movie actually quite a bit. So I am quite a big fan of that look. I think the figure looks nice, and it's obviously a completely new sculpt, and it does work well to army build. So especially if they do a Skrull soldier, it would be great to army build them and the Kree soldiers, and to show a little war. Because if you don't know, in the comics, the Kree and the Skrulls are at war. They kind of hate each other, so it would be very nice to be able to demonstrate that figure-wise. And then just going over the Build-A-Figure stuff, like what the Build-A-Figure is and the Build-A-Figure pieces that come with which character. The Kree Sentry is the Build-A-Figure. I'm not super familiar with them from the comics, but I actually do really like the look of the figure. I think it looks very cool. I've seen a lot of people making fun of it, and most people don't seem to be liking this Build-A-Figure, but for me personally, I do kind of enjoy it. I think that it does look quite neat. I would have preferred something movie, of course, but as far as comic goes in a Marvel, in a Captain Marvel series, this is not a bad one for me personally. So I'm actually looking forward to the Build-A-Figure. The Build-A-Figure is not my favorite figure of the wave, though. Like, usually I build the Build-A-Figure with the Build-A-Figure being the one, or sorry, I buy the wave with the Build-A-Figure being the one that I'm most looking forward to. I'm definitely more looking forward to the movie figures in this wave, but the Build-A-Figure is a nice touch. So as you can see, Nick Fury will come with his right arm. The Skrull, what is it? Talos will come with his, I believe that's his left leg, and then the Kree soldier will come with his torso. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, Carol Danvers, I believe will come with one more piece, probably like the head, and then that leaves us with two more pieces, an arm and a leg. Unfortunately, most likely those will be comic book figures, unless they actually do try to split this up into 7 figures, and just the Captain Marvel figure doesn't come with the Build-A-Figure, and then we have 3 more figures, possibly all comic, maybe a movie, and then 2 comics, something like that. I personally, if I had my choice, this would be a full movie wave, I can tell you that, but I just don't see that happening. However, I do think that there's still plenty of opportunities for movie characters. Like, I wrote a little list here, and Nick Fury is number 1 on that list, but obviously that was just shown. So the next would be the regular Skrulls, like I mentioned, like the Skrull soldiers. Then there's Jude Law's Kree character, Marvel, and then Ronin is another big one. And then Ronin's like a little his kind of right-hand man in Guardians of the Galaxy. I can't remember his name. His name starts with a K, I believe. But he's in the movie as well. He's wearing Kree. He's wearing Kree, a Kree uniform, because he's part of like Captain Marvel's crew. It looks like in the movie. There's also Captain Marvel in her Kree uniform, the green one. I mean, there seems to be quite a lot of figures for them to do. So I would definitely love to see more. I doubt they'll do a second wave, but I would imagine that they'll probably do some more, but most likely in like 2 packs, things like that. And then the other 2 figures in this wave, or possibly 3, will be comic figures. So that's my guess. Obviously, by the time I post this, we might know the answer. So I definitely will be making an update as soon as more stuff comes out, and obviously these aren't the best quality images, so hopefully we do get some really nice high definition images of these figures coming soon. And yeah, and there is the Captain Marvel trailer tomorrow. That's when it's going to debut, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Can't wait to see some of these characters in action, especially the Skrulls. Again, big Skrull fan. I do like them quite a bit. And then yeah, I am very excited for the figures. I think that they all look quite nice. Captain Marvel's head sculpt is a little underwhelming, but I'm really a big fan of the head sculpt on both Samuel Jackson and Ben Mendelsohn, I keep wanting to call him Kree, the Skrull. I think that he looks excellent as well. So I'm very excited that we have Skrulls in the MCU now, and even more excited that we actually have figures for them. I didn't expect to get any Skrull figures, I will say. Like, I would have expected, you know, Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, and then maybe like Ronin, because he'd be very easy to do since he's basically just a repaint, and then maybe a second version of Captain Marvel in the Kree uniform before we got any just like the Kree soldiers and the Skrull soldiers. But it's smart because obviously it allows allows collectors to army build, and if they do some Skrull soldiers, I will definitely be army building Skrulls, because again, I'm a big fan of Skrulls. Kree, I'll definitely get one, but I don't think I'm gonna go crazy army building the Kree. But that's just me. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this new Marvel Legends wave, being the Captain Marvel movie series. Let me know what you guys think of all 4 figures, all 4 movie figures, as well as the Build-A-Figure, and thanks so much for watching.